Hi everyone, it's Luke from Inspired Gamer, and this time we are taking a look at Eternal Hope from the team at Doublehit Games. This is a 2D puzzle adventure game that follows in the style of titles like Limbo and Little Nightmares. In other words, it's a very minimal and very atmospheric kind of game. I'm a little surprised this one hasn't received more attention, so I'm going to do a quick overview of it and talk about why it might be worth playing. In Eternal Hope, you play as Tibby, who in a freakish event has just lost his girlfriend. Fortunately, Tibby is approached by a creature called the Keeper of Souls, who informs Tibby that he can bring back his girlfriend if Tibby is able to bring him the fragments of her soul. Tibby is granted the ability to enter the Shadow World, and off he sets on his journey to collect his girlfriend's soul fragments. You know, just your average Friday night. The gameplay in Eternal Hope basically revolves around doing some light platforming and solving puzzles of increasing difficulty in order to progress Tibby's journey. But it's this ability to switch between worlds that makes up the core of the gameplay. See, although the real world and the shadow world exist in parallel, they feature different environmental layouts. This forces the player to constantly be shifting between the two worlds in order to complete the challenges that are laid out before them. New areas might be uncovered, new objects might be found, and new platforms might appear. This feature is really at the heart of Eternal Hope, and you will become familiar with it over the course of the game. Another important aspect of the Shadow World are the creatures that reside within, known as the Yanmu. Now, there are two types of Yanmu. The ones that wear masks are cool and friendly, and they want to help Tibby out on his journey by offering assistance. But then there are the maskless Yanmu that have become corrupted, and it turns out they are not so cool and friendly, and they really want to see you fail. The Yanmu flesh out the Shadow World and give it a distinctive feel, and it really adds to the tension when you switch into the Shadow World only to be confronted by a gigantic corrupted Yanmu. Doublehit has really done an incredible job with the artwork in Eternal Hope, and it was actually the first thing that made me pay attention to the game. It has this beautiful ethereal design, contrasting the black silhouette foreground with the vivid colours of the background. The small details are impressive. You see buildings, bridges, animals, and other things in the background as you walk past, and that all helps make the game world feel like it has its own history. I also love the weather effects. Like during a storm, you can see the rain gushing down, trees and leaves getting blown, waves in the water, and lightning flashing across the sky. The narrative text pops up as you walk past, and I think that's a pretty interesting way to present the story. You also have the cutscenes, which are quite simple, but very well drawn. And at least for me, they did a great job at trying to make you feel an emotional connection to the story. It makes you want to cheer Tibby on along his journey. And yeah, simple is the key word here. The art style is simple and minimal, and I think that really leaves a lot of room for the atmosphere to shine, as you aren't distracted by overly complex design elements. It's just you and the game world. So in this case, simple is effective. And speaking of atmosphere, I have to talk about the music and sound effects. The sound effects have so much depth, so many details in the ambience. I'm just going to play a short example. Using the storm again, you can hear the wind roar, the rain, rustling leaves, lightning rumble, and something as small as the footsteps, they sound damp during the rain. The forest comes to life as creatures make noise, and the Shadow World has this ominous drone throughout. It's just really solid design and great attention to detail. The music in Eternal Hope stays out of the way most of the time, but when it kicks in, it really creates an emotional impact with its beautiful soundtrack. The composer definitely deserves praise for his efforts. Like the rest of the game, the music is simple, effective, and fits in well. And that's Eternal Hope. I think people looking for something a little slower paced, something where they can just get lost in the haunting atmosphere of the game, will really enjoy this one. You can download the prologue on Steam right now, and the full game will be out on August the 6th. An Xbox One version is also planned for later in the year. Thank you for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.